Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
Ahsoka's Ray Stevenson made one special change for his Jedi Baylan Skoll. The late Ray Stevenson is responsible for one of the major changes Star Wars made for his character Baylan Skoll. 4 episodes into Ahsoka on Disney Plus, and Baylan Skoll may be the show's most compelling character so far. Not only is the late Ray Stevenson's performance a masterclass in presence and restraint, but his former Jedi Knight past, relationship with his apprentice Shin Hati, and a lack of a full-on Sith status have fans asking many questions and promptly making their theories. One of the most obvious signs that Baylan Skoll isn't your typical baddie is his orange-red lightsaber blade, and much rather than being straight on red, it is orange. And while fans are still waiting for answers, Lucasfilm has revealed Ray Stevenson's influence on his character's signature weapon into the regards of his lightsaber. As I had mentioned, Baylan Skoll and his apprentice Shin Hati both use orange lightsabers much rather than red lightsabers as a normal Sith-like villain in the Star Wars franchise would do. My best explanation for this in comparison to another Star Wars character would be similar to what we see with Samuel L. Jackson's Mace Windu throughout the prequel trilogy. The explanation behind a purple lightsaber that Samuel L. Jackson's Mace Windu uses, as we see in the prequel trilogy, is an obvious blend between blue and red, making purple, and this is because that the character of Mace Windu in canon and in universe was able to tap into the dark side of the Force throughout combat, making his lightsaber bleed to the color, while both blue and red making it meet in the middle with purple. That is the in-universe and in-canon explanation for as of why Mace Windu has a purple lightsaber. Other than that, Samuel L. Jackson simply asked George Lucas if he could have a purple lightsaber. So, what does this have to do with, well, an orange lightsaber? It's essentially the same thing that we see for Baylan and his apprentice Shin Hati, a mixture or a blend of between 2 different colors. In this case, it would be a blend between, of course, red and yellow, spawning a theory of that maybe Baylan once was a temple guard at the Jedi Temple during the events of the Clone Wars, but that's another theory for another time. My point being is that similar to how we see Mace Windu is able to tap into both the light and dark side of the Force when in combat, I suggest that, well, Baylan and Shin Hati are able to do the same when in combat, tapping into both the dark and the light side of the Force. And so, at the Walt Disney Studios showcase during Destination D23 earlier this year, Ahsoka's prop master Josh Roth had revealed that Ray Stevenson wanted to do something very special for his lightsaber. In a video posted online, Josh Roth had explained that after Lucasfilm's Doug Chiang designed the lightsaber, he and his team had adjusted the design accordingly to make it work as an overall prop itself. However, according to Josh Roth, Ray Stevenson had his own request and wanted to change the pommel on the saber, saying that, in quote, Ray wanted to do something very special for this, and he wanted to change the pommel. We changed the pommel working with both Doug and Dave Filoni, and were able to implement a creative choice that Ray had, ending that quote right there. Although, so the question can stand, what was that creative special choice that Ray had made? Let's get to that in just a minute. For reference, a lightsaber pommel, for those that aren't familiar with it, is the end cap of a lightsaber hilt. While it's only a small part of the saber, lightsaber pommels vary by shape, design, and color. Some happen to include a ring to hang on the user's belt, as in the case of Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber and Luke Skywalker's green saber from Return of the Jedi. Josh Roth had gone on to acknowledge that Ray Stevenson's customization makes this a very, very special saber, as it includes a creative influence from Ray Stevenson himself, saying that, in quote, and for me now, this makes this a very, very special saber, because not only does it have Dave Filoni's influence, Doug Chiang's influence, and my influence, it also has a creative influence from Ray Stevenson himself, so it's very special to me, ending that quote right there. It goes to show of like it almost being a legacy prop for Lucasfilm, which is really quite incredible, having so many creative and incredible minds having something to add to this prop. So this year all being said, as I had mentioned, what exactly was that creative choice or difference that Ray Stevenson wanted to add to his character's Baylan Skoll's lightsaber, specifically with the lightsaber cap or for the Pommel. Since Josh Roth didn't exactly provide that additional context, it's possible that the reason is rooted in Baylan Skoll's untold backstory, as into an in-universe or in-canon explanation for the character, mainly kind of similar to with what I had explained earlier with Mace Windu and his lightsaber. Although, after all, like Baylan Skoll, Ahsoka Tano is no Jedi, and her double lightsabers are both unique and with a story of their own. Maybe Ray Stevenson wanted to do something from his character's past to reflect in his saber as well. It's also just as possible that Ray Stevenson had requested the change for something far simpler, such as a utility, or maybe in an ease of use for the overall lightsaber prop when he was using it during filming and production. Whether fans will ever learn the reason remains to be seen. Regardless, Baylan Skoll's lightsaber is yet another way Ray Stevenson has contributed to this fan-favorite character and overall Star Wars universe and story, and who's also becoming a huge part of the actor's own legacy. Although, I will say I find it unfortunate that we don't know the exact difference or creative choice that had been made behind the lightsaber hilt itself into the, with the pommel as I had mentioned. I hope that one day that is something that will be revealed by Josh Roth, and the main reason behind it. Therefore, just as Josh Roth had noted and said, Baylan Skoll's saber hilt will always be special because it includes a creative influence from Ray himself. I also think, in my own thoughts and opinions, as for that the late Ray Stevenson had passed away before he was ever even able to experience or even see the incredible performance that he had for the Ahsoka show and the amazing story that they're telling with the Ahsoka show thus far is very unfortunate, and I think that it really makes this whole ordeal with his lightsaber hilt a little bit more saddening to me. And I absolutely love it when the actors are just that into Star Wars and where they want to add their own little quirks or creative choices for their lightsaber hilts. As I had also mentioned earlier on in this video, thinking back to Mace Windu and Samuel L. Jackson, there is actually the letters engraved onto Samuel L. Jackson's lightsaber, BMF, if you can guess what that's from or the resemblance behind that. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.